Cheers, Rod.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
So, let's debrief on CES, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Just for everybody watching, we're just going to talk about CES. Me and Vlad met here, and for the first time, which was cool.
Yeah.
And it's just nice meeting someone that you only correspond with through video and
email
and
YouTube videos.
Yeah, so that's kind of the cool part of all of this. So thank you for suggesting this, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do it.
I'm glad we had the time to do it. Rod leaves tomorrow, so luckily we were able to get this nice space here. It's the first year they've had this creator space at CES, and it's actually pretty nice.
It's really nice. I thought that's something they always did, but it is so nice, you guys. I gotta say, I mean, it's marvelous.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's talk about CES in general, and then also one thing I want to do is I want to, at the end of my recording of all the CES stuff, I want to make a video that's kind of what to do and what not to do at CES, because when I was coming here, I had no clue. I was overwhelmed by all the emails, all that stuff. So I kind of want to make a good video note of A, for myself, but also to other people who have never been here before.
Dude, I'm glad you said that.
Maybe to just, summarize all the stuff.
That is something that I was thinking about, and I have a note in my Nomad right now that says it talks about the topics that I want to cover about just CES, like what you just said.
Yeah.
What you should do or look forward to doing as a small creator coming to CES.
Yeah.
Or, as a small channel coming to CES, because it's different than what you think seeing it on big channels, you know what I mean? And what you have to go through. So that's a perfect idea.
They have a whole camera crew, they got professional level audio and all that.
They got schedulings.
They probably get access to even pre-stuff from the media passes, because there's I think there's a VIP pass, so even some of the keynotes, there are sections that are sectioned off for VIP.
Right.
And I think on CES Unveil Day, they probably get access to special rooms where they can see the products that are here beforehand.
And they have access to these people that we just don't have. Yeah. So, I mean, it's different for a small creator, for sure. And I definitely was ruminating on ideas and ways that I could put content out just for smaller content creators who are coming to CES.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Maybe let's start with your favorite thing you saw so far.
Favorite thing. So we were talking about this, and I was trying to remember what my favorite thing is. I wrote it down, but I will say this: there is a car that can fit a helicopter in the back of it.
Oh yeah.
And you drive the car around. It looks like
it's kind of Cybertruck looking, right?
I thought it was a Cybertruck until I got up on it.
It's a little rounder, less angular, but it's
and longer.
They definitely stole some of the design from it.
Absolutely. Because when if you think Cybertruck, when you first see it, they stole some design from it.
Yeah.
That was probably the most interesting thing I saw. That if it was available, I might sell an arm and a leg and a kidney to have one. I'm just saying.
Yeah, imagine you go camping or something, and then you just pull out the drone in the back, and you can just go anywhere.
And you get in it.
Yeah.
You get in the drone.
Yeah. I actually haven't seen that yet. I'll probably check it out tomorrow or Friday. But did you go to actually look at it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I was there.
Can you get in it, or can you?
No, they don't let you get in it.
Okay.
They just let you take pictures of it, and you can see it. And I just took a screenshot and video of the video they were showing of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's you can't experience it, but it's something to see for sure.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing I saw. And I doubt it'll be around anytime soon, but yeah. What about you?
I mean, there's so many cool gadgets and stuff. I love a lot of them that I saw, but I think the coolest thing I saw today, which is Rod and I are kind of also in the e-ink space, was probably the pocketbook ink poster, they're calling it. I'll probably make a video on it, but it's Spectra 6, and they make, I think it's a 13-inch size, a 28 and a 31, and then they have a massive one that they haven't launched yet.
I think this is what my people in my Discord was talking about.
Okay.
They were like, oh, something came out ink related. They were like, you can't write on it or do anything, but they were like, oh, it's ink. I'm
it's
like,
expensive.
Oh,
It's
okay.
expensive.
Yeah.
But then a few booths down, I went to a different one that's called Auratech or something.
Okay.
And they also had a Spectra 6 panel, but it was half or maybe maybe a third of the price.
Ooh.
So that one was pretty interesting too.
Same concept as far as pictures?
Spectra 6, their lighting wasn't as good, which I was surprised with, in terms of actually lighting the product, because e-ink isn't very good under bad lighting. Mm-hmm. But so I was a little surprised by that, but I think it's the same technology, so it should be just as good.
Right.
But they also had matte screens on the ink posters, so or matte covers. So I think that made it look a little better under all the like harsh, lighting that we have in these areas. So yeah, that was pretty cool. The ink posters are definitely expensive, but I think they're gonna kind of sell towards that like high-end market. Right. Whereas the Aurotech is probably trying to capitalize on the new display technology at a more affordable price.
Yeah.
So
one thing that I saw here that I've always wondered about, I'm like, why are all these companies making these curved and flexible displays, these really big curved and flexible displays? Vegas is why.
Okay.
Vegas.
Yeah.
All those slot machines use those curved panels.
The sphere.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So all that's technology. I'm like, I've always wondered why they even care to have it curved. Slot machines.
Speaking of the sphere, you're right about slot machines for sure. Speaking of the sphere, they just announced yesterday that Delta, it's their 100th year anniversary, so they were doing like this special thing at the Sphere, but they announced that they're partnering with YouTube, so you will now be able to watch YouTube ad-free on flights.
Interesting.
So who knows, maybe you're watching this ad-free.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. And then to some people's disappointment, I won't name names, but they announced right after their like health announcement that they're partnering with DraftKings, so you can gamble on the plane.
Wow. Dude, it's getting wild. It's getting. But you know what though? I was kind of wondering what they were going to do, and for the record, I stood in line, no lie, for 2 hours waiting to get a ticket or my thing stamped so I could get into the show.
Yeah.
Missed the show because I was. You know why?
Why?
Trying to get over to Venetian to see E-Ink Corporation.
Oh, for real?
Who was not here?
They weren't even there, yeah.
Who was not here?
Yeah. I stopped by there this morning. They had 2 rooms that were empty. There were some guys I was able to talk to, luckily, that, pointed me to maybe, like, the Spectra 6 Aurotech one. They pointed me to that direction. Okay. Yeah. So that was at least helpful, but there was no one from E-Ink that we could talk to. Which
was so disappointing. So disappointing. I mean, it could have been so much better. Like if we had just been
all these interview questions prepped for them.
And listen, I was gonna go live for any of the chat crew who was watching this. Listen, I was gonna go live, you guys, but I couldn't even talk to them, so it didn't make sense for me to go live. I'm like, okay, well,
disappointing.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess, I don't know, maybe they're just here to support the partners they have that do E-Ink here. I don't know.
Which was so
I'm just wondering
minimal.
Why they would have a presence here if they have nothing to
show. Or to even talk about.
But then again, they also don't sell like products to individuals. They sell them to corporations, right?
I saw so many companies here, just like this one company who I'm definitely about to research. They waterproof electronic components. So
like a spray of some sort?
It's a nano coating.
Yeah, okay.
You have to dip it in, but after it's nano coated, it's like waterproof. They were running water over PVC circuit boards.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. Yeah. So I mean, and they were just marketing to, people who are making circuit boards.
Yeah.
So, they could have done something, man. Mm-hmm. They could have done something. But
yeah. And then while I was researching E-Ink stuff yesterday at CES 2025, I didn't really find much at all. But then I did find I think it's called the TCL Next Gen paper.
Yes, I saw that.
So did you go check it out?
Yeah, I did.
So it's not actually E-Ink.
It's not E-Ink. It's not.
But it comes up. Yeah, I did see it.
Good.
So it comes up when you search E-Ink, like CES 25. But it's actually just an LCD panel, and it has a really good matte coating on it.
Right.
And then it's got a physical switch on it that when you switch it, it just turns into black and white.
I'm going to blast this
thing. And it limits your... You can only use 8 apps, I think, when you have it in that mode.
Right, and it stops your notifications.
Yeah. And it runs in a lower power mode.
It's monochrome, because it's monochrome.
Lower power mode. So it reduces like the CPU hertz and all that, so it lasts longer in standby.
I think they cut the refresh rate down, all kinds of. So I mean, I'm going to blast this thing, and I'm only going to blast it because they are touting it as E-Ink-ish. And it's not E-Ink-ish at all by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Unless you consider your phone going into a super low power mode, because my phone does that now.
Yeah,
the Google Pixel.
Mine, I have a Galaxy S23 Ultra. Okay. And at night, I just schedule times, and after a certain hour, it goes into like black and white mode.
And stops notifications.
Yeah, and they've done studies where if your phone turns into black and white, you kind of just like lose interest in things, especially like social media stuff.
And it's true.
And like literally after like 2 minutes of looking at it, you're like,
and done.
You just put it away unless you're reading a book or something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's no different than that, really.
No, it's not. That's why I'm blasting it. Yeah. Because they're making a whole device based on that premise, and that's just a feature that most phones have.
Yeah. The only thing I do like on it is the physical switch. because I feel like that's like a mental thing where you can like, okay, I'm in like work mode,
right,
and like productivity. But then I'm sure there's a way you could map that with like the Bixby button on my phone.
Exactly.
You probably have a button on your phone you could map it with. The new action button on the iPhone.
I could probably tap the back of my phone
the new
and
action
do
button
it.
on the iPhone. You know,
exactly.
It's like,
So I'm going to blast them just because they put e-ink in it, and I'm tired of these companies putting e-ink in the name of things that aren't e-ink at all.
Yeah, it's still an LCD panel.
Exactly. Exactly. Did you see the DeLorean that they had?
No.
Oh my God, I got a picture of that.
I'll check it tomorrow or Friday.
All these places kind of combine to me after a while.
But it's not the DeLorean Motor Company, is it? It's
no,
other...
it's an actual DeLorean, but I'm not sure who. It wasn't the DeLorean company who had it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it in one of the bigger expos?
Yeah. It's here in the
I've only walked the central one, so I'm sure I'll see it.
Yeah, it's here.
When I walk
It may be west, actually. Matter of fact, it is west.
Okay.
It's west because I was looking for one wheel. They were here yesterday.
Oh, they left?
For like 3 hours.
They left?
Yeah. I was so mad. I'm like, why even bother coming for 3 hours? And it's not like they had to travel far there in California.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Smile on camera.
So, what about e-ink? What was the coolest thing you saw e-ink related?
I mean, I think it has to be the Spectra. I did stop by the Amazon place today.
Okay.
Just to see the Scribe and the ColorSoft.
I should have done that.
There was really not a huge e-ink presence here in general.
That's kind of the point I was getting at or alluding to. I'm hoping that next year is better, because I'm hoping to come next year. But
because like wasn't last year the year they did the BMW car?
Yes.
That changed. That would have been super cool to see.
Yeah, man. Just a lot was going on last year. It seems like, but they had some cool things here. I just couldn't find a lot of them.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing, finding the cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there wasn't a big e-ink presence here. Not to the extent that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if Penstar, a really small company, was coming to CES, I thought Remarkable surely would be here. I thought.
Yeah, I was expecting Remarkable, or like I had asked Supernote if they were going to be here beforehand.
Right, and I'm just like, I would assume that they would be here since they're like the top players, in this space. Onyx wasn't here.
Yeah.
So, I just think that it wasn't, or CES is not the place for that. Maybe right now.
Yeah.
And I was telling my chat the other day that e-ink is niche. And it's still so very niche right now amongst the larger consumer electronics.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
I don't mind that though. I don't mind that.
So did you use your Manta or your Nomad more?
My Nomad.
Okay.
And the reason why I use the Nomad more, and I bought both. I got both of them in my bag right now.
I honestly, I feel I brought this in the V-Woods. I probably should have brought this in the Nomad, but I was like kind of tight for space, so I was like deciding, and I was like, maybe the AI function would be useful, but I ended up just using this.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled the Nomad out every time I went to go write something. I only pulled the Manta out once in the hotel room, and I pulled it out, turned it on, looked at it, and was like, okay, there's nothing to do here. And I just put it back in the bag, because I usually just use the Supernote platform as a way to save notes and ideas, but I had it all down on the Nomad, you know what I mean? It was like, it's small. I could just kind of pull it out, sit it on my lap, or sit it on something while I'm, taking pictures of something really quick. And I did a lot of that when we were even in the presentation that we were in together.
Yeah.
Just kind of like writing something down, taking a picture, set it down on my lap, write something down.
Yeah.
The small size was super helpful in that case. Yeah.
Definitely. So what would you do differently next time if you were to come back? You already said bring a light.
Bring a light. Oh my goodness. You guys, for whoever's watching my stuff and you saw all the bad lighting, sorry. I'll do better next time. It's the lighting situation I gotta fix. I'm not gonna carry so much camera gear. What I'm gonna do is try to I carried 3 cameras this time. I won't do that again.
The first day I brought like my laptop, all this stuff, and like my back was aching the next day.
That's what I'm saying, dude. My shoulders are killing me right now. But beyond the gear stuff, I think what I would do better is learn routes. Learn the best way to get back and forth.
Nothing makes a lot of sense. Like the first day we both, just to get to the places we wanted to go, the shuttles were all a mess. Tesla Loop was cool, but
it is cool.
No one outside like knew where to go on the first day, so I got sent in like different directions.
Yeah.
And
even some of the staff that were here didn't really. They were, I won't call them clueless because they're being thrown in this position like we are. They didn't know a lot of the things that we didn't know too. So I mean,
the Venetian's confusing as hell. Like, all those number systems make no sense.
None.
The map is useless.
None.
Like,
Even the placement of the hotels get confusing because you are in one hotel. It seems like you're in a separate hotel because you've been walking so long, but you're still in that hotel, sort of, but not really.
Yeah.
Because the hotel is a part of the actual walkway as well.
Right.
It's super complicated.
Yeah.
Learn Vegas before you come. If you're going to come, you better learn Vegas.
Speaking of sore backs, you should go sit in one of the massage chairs. They're pretty good.
Dude, that's what I'm doing when I get done here.
I tried it yesterday.
That's what I'm going to do when I get done here. It sounds so good.
Although, what was the one I went to? The guy tried to sell me so hard. I was there with my videographer there, and after mid massage, I'm relaxing there, and he's like, "So will you be financing or leasing your purchase?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "This thing's like $13,000."
Whoa, Kimosabe, let's calm down.
It'll be like $9,000 the wholesale discount, and I was like, I live in an apartment. I have no place to put this cocoon thing.
This cocoon.
But does
it look like a cocoon?
At least 5 times. Then he went to her to buy them, and it was like, I was like, we're not buying this. I'm sorry.
Does it look like an actual cocoon?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like what you like. I mean, it was great massage. Like it does inversion therapy, stretches you out, and it's got apparently it has dual motor versus single motor, which is better. And,
okay.
and it was cool.
Cool.
I felt good after that. After the first day of just carrying around a bunch of crap.
Awesome.
But I traveled light the next days,
All right. So what was the highlight of this experience for you? Like if you were to encapsulate this in one sentence or phrase, what would you?
I think the networking.
Okay.
It's something that I do some cold emailing sometimes, but you never know if someone's even reading it on the other end or if it's just getting thrown into a spam or a trash folder.
Right.
Here at least you talk about the product with someone and then you kind of show your interest, and especially on the media days, I feel like they were all very willing to they were almost coming to you. They're like, oh, you do YouTube, we would love to collaborate or something.
Right. That was a different vibe from day 7
yeah
and 8.
Yeah. And then just also in terms of the networking, meeting other creators too, it's not really something that besides the E-team we have and stuff, it's not really something that you just encounter out very often.
No.
And so meeting a bunch of people in that mindset was really cool, and connecting with them and stuff. What about you?
That's exactly what I was going to say. You don't get that experience doing what we do very often. You know what I mean? Because you're kind of secluded off into your own corner, doing your thing. And when you do get out to meet people like what we're doing right now, it's rare. So you kind of want to take advantage of it. And you're right. It's getting with I kind of equate it to what we do with the E-team when we get together. It's it's cool to have you guys to lean on and ask questions of and do stuff with, but when we do this, then we kind of expand that, and there's other people we meet that we can kind of lean on and explore things with, because we're all here together. You know what I mean? Which is it's a cool feeling.
And then I feel like they do the CTA, which is the organization that runs CES. They do a good job of bringing cool people to run certain things. Yesterday, I saw a panel here, and it's a channel called Nothing But Tech. Her name's Jacqueline Dallas. I think she was sitting right there.
Okay.
And then I just, after I was sitting there and I just talked to her, I was like, oh, I loved your take on AI and how that's going to change content creation. And we can actually get into that in a second because it was interesting. But she came up to me after, and it was we connected and stuff. And then I told you, Chris Howe today I saw talking about Insta360.
Man, I was so jealous.
And showing stuff. And then at the Hisense booth, DeMarcus Cousins was about to be there, the NBA player.
Yeah.
He was giving some stuff. And then yesterday at the thing, Tom Brady was there at the Sphere. Viola Davis.
Wow.
They brought a bunch of cool people.
Did you get some good?
Dude,
did you use your Ray-Bans at the Sphere?
I did not. I had them with me, but I didn't. I was just doing my phone and stuff because I didn't have anything in my hand, so I was just filming and stuff. Yeah. But on my flight here, do you know who Mr. Mobile is?
Yeah.
He was in business class on my flight, and I didn't want to he was on the inside, so I didn't want to say hi and interrupt, because I know sometimes people in business class want to just be quiet and sleep, and they don't want to be have people coming up to them and talking to them. But now I haven't seen him the whole show, and I'm damn, I should have said hi.
He sounds he seems like a super chill dude.
I know he would. I'm sure he would have been fine, but I just didn't want to blow up his spot and make him.
I respect that though. I respect it.
That was a cool way to start off CS, just seeing him there. I was like, whoa, I watch all your stuff, It's
I love Mr. Mobile. I saw one of the people that I've watched on YouTube for a very long time, Brian Tong. He used to do Apple Byte.
He hosts it, doesn't he? He hosts this.
I didn't even know that.
Him and iJustine, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So my friend saw iJustine yesterday. She was actually they were both at the CES Unveiled we were at.
Okay.
The first day?
Yeah, that's where I saw him.
Okay,
that's where I saw him. Yep.
So they were running around testing all this stuff too, and they had like a film crew with them.
Yeah.
But he's been hosting for a couple years, I think now. Her, I don't really know. It might have been her first year hosting or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've been watching Brian Tong for over a decade, man.
Yeah.
Like, so it was very cool to see him in person. I didn't get a chance to say hi or anything because he was like recording. Like you said, they had the camera crew with him and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
they were busy.
Yeah, they were.
But anyway, so the thing Jacqueline Dallas was talking about when the panel person here asked her about like what is your outtake on AI and content creation, and her like. Based off of what I've seen from AI too, I think she's like pretty spot on, especially with the NVIDIA keynote I went to, because NVIDIA was showing a kind of tool they have for if you want to set a scene, like it's so easy now to just like move objects in the scene and then it can like render that with the GPU and then just create a scene for you instead of you having to like learn Blender and Fusion and like create your own
that would
things
be
if you want.
so helpful.
And so her outtake was like that the idea is going to be way more important like for a video or for a concept because the technology barrier is going to really decrease a lot for you to have access to the tools that you'd maybe need a professional team that knows Fusion and Blender and stuff like that to create what you want. You know?
And that's the problem I'm having right now, trying to learn Blender for a lot of the 3D projects that I'm getting myself into. So I'm like, okay, I have this idea for something I want to make, but then I gotta learn Blender first, you know. So
yeah, and like you're already like spending a lot of time making videos and stuff, and it's like you gotta allocate time to do that, right?
You know the struggle, man. Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's that'll be nice to have an AI tool like that. I was talking to someone who used to be in the marketing space for influencers.
Okay.
And he was telling me about some tools that his company is pulling forward. Oris, I think the name of the company was. I'll check that and we'll correct it. But he said that they're developing software where creators can take 2-3 hour long live streams, feed it to this AI, and the AI will cut it by sections or timestamp it by sections, so you'll know where to cut. It will tell you what it will categorize it by topics and let you know where those topics are. So it basically scans your content and tells you where everything is, so you don't have to look at it.
Okay.
And because I think we talked about having to go back and to a certain timestamp and cut things
especially
up,
a live stream, which is normally an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? It's like you already spent the time doing the live stream to like go back and like cut all that stuff or like timestamp it.
It's so
like
time
pretty
consuming.
tedious.
And that's time you could have put into a new video, but you're cutting up an old video. You know, so it's like
for people that do podcasts, which I don't do yet, but like there's like a thing called Autopod where it literally like if you have like let's say you had like 3 cameras kind of like we have right now, each one will have like the microphone mapped to like that camera, and then you just throw it into like Premiere or something, and Autopod it's like you just watch it and it just dices everything up. And it's like it goes from cam to cam to cam to cam of who's talking and whatnot, without you having to like touch a button, or you touch one button, but that's it.
But that's again taking away the barrier to doing things and making things look really nice without having to really know the ins and outs.
And just be more efficient, right?
Exactly. You know, so I like that. Just if I can take a live stream and give it to a tool to tell me, hey, where are the key points here? You know, when did topics change? What topics did I cover? Even that would be cool, because at least I can label my video correctly.
Yeah, that's true. That is.
So that would be cool.
Oh yeah, one thing. When I was at the NVIDIA keynote, there was this Israeli guy who had been here 8 consecutive years, and he gave me a good tip. It's like the first. So this is the second day of the show. There's 2 more. So the first day or 2. You should go see more stuff in the Venetian, because those are smaller startups. And his experience over the years was like that a lot of stuff that startups do, they have less people running it, and sometimes their stuff just breaks, you know? So he's like, go check that stuff out first. And then like the big booths they probably have like 40 people manning it. Like they're always going to have a flow of people. And people working there.
There is something I want to say on that front. Not to cut you off, but go ahead.
Go ahead. That was pretty much it.
Okay.
And then move to the bigger halls and stuff.
Which is an excellent point. And something that I was thinking as well is something that tripped me up. Like initially was, I was like, okay, I got to go see all of these presentations.
Right.
Oh, I gotta see the NVIDIA keynote. I gotta see the Sony keynote. I gotta see this presentation. I gotta see that presentation. Those things are cool.
They're all live streamed.
Right, but exactly, and someone's gonna be recording that. You can always see it later.
Yeah.
But the cooler thing to me is the products.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
go see the products if you come here.
For
like,
sure.
make a plan to see things, but go see the products.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't do nothing else,
Yeah.
see the products, and that's what I wish I would have spent more time doing. Is seeing products instead of trying to travel to this building to see this presentation, travel to that building to see that presentation. And one more thing I'd say about that too. Next time I come, what I'm going to do is simplify by saying, what's the priority, right? So my priority here was to catch the e-ink companies and to see the e-ink corporation.
Yeah.
Have as much fun and do as much as you can in that building where your priorities are.
Yeah.
Then spread out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one thing I wish I would have thought about doing.
E-ink, which ended up being fruitless anyways,
Yeah.
so it didn't really matter. But
Right.
I think prioritizing in the app, the app's pretty good. Just
Yeah.
check the things
Exactly.
you want, favorite them.
But I wasn't checking where things were.
Yeah.
And if I was thinking about it, I would have checked where they were and only checked for things on a certain day that are in the same
area,
building. Right, dude, because the travel is what kills you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what kills your ability to see as much as you want to see. Yes.
How's the monorail, by the way?
Perfect.
Yeah.
There's never a wait time. It's every 6 minutes, like clockwork.
Oh,
You buy
if I come back, I'll definitely do the monorail.
buy a pass
Yeah.
for the week. It's cheap as crap, and on top of that, you get by the line of people trying to get passes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's awesome. Yeah. Public transportation, people. Find out how public transportation works
Definitely.
when you come to these things, because I'm telling you, that's going to be a life changer or life saver and game changer. I'm tired.
So one thing I wouldn't do is, I think in the CES registration, I check the box for companies to reach out to you.
Yeah.
That is so overwhelming. You get so many emails, and
I didn't do that and got a ton, so I know what you mean.
I before this event, I had this pending thing where I was like, oh my god, I need to look through every email, see which company I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to do any of that. You'll come here, you'll find the companies you want.
Exactly.
You'll either you'll find it in the app, you'll go there, or you'll just find it by walking around.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I agree.
You don't need to schedule interviews. You can just
go.
Most places that would do an interview, you can just walk up there and ask for the person that's related to the
I wholeheartedly
the
agree
marketing
with that.
person, the salesperson, whoever you need. They'll just have someone that you can talk to, and
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I took 2 days and maybe 4 hours at a time.
Yeah.
Going through emails, so I'm 8 hours ago, and I didn't even get to all of them.
No, me neither.
And it was like Vlad said, it was totally worthless.
Yeah. It was this mental almost anxiety about it.
Absolutely, because
I need to read through everyone.
Yeah.
It's I didn't need to read through any of them.
None. Same here. So I agree with that. Yeah, just see what you want to see, make a plan to see the people you want to see, and don't worry about the emails.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, it was good. Being able to come here and get to meet you in person.
Yeah.
I was feeling jealous that Jeff got to meet you in person.
The who?
That Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
I was like,
you'll meet him at some point.
Yeah.
We still got to meet Ed. Too.
I'm gonna go see Ed. Yeah, I'm going to see Ed in Indiana. I was supposed to wear an Indiana shirt. It was hectic, Ed. I couldn't get time to even go. I thought I was gonna have time to go shop for some stuff. No, you're not gonna have time to do anything at CES but CES. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, awesome
Definitely,
Rod.
Definitely, man. Thank you. And
actually,
we'll
one more
again.
question. Do you think you would come back next year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If for no other reason, I'll know more about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Even if there's no e-ink here, I think it's valuable for the reason you said, the networking.
Yeah.
You get to see these companies, and I dropped off about 100 business cards.
Yeah.
I was just throwing out like candy.
Same.
If you looked at me wrong, I gave you a business card. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's gonna even if 1% of those people respond, that'll be worth it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I would do, the last thing, is on Media Day, I feel like I loved CS Unveiled, but all the stuff before that during the day I felt like was unnecessary.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually need to be here on Saturday. I should have just come Sunday morning like you did.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what I was afraid of when I heard that you came early. I'm like, oh my God, what am I missing?
Am I late or something?
Yeah, Vlad's there. Like, what am I missing?
Nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like registration day, there were some small little keynotes, but nothing of that much importance.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So you can come. Make sure you're here by noon, though. You don't want to mess around. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get somewhere. So
that's true. Yeah.
That would be
so you said you don't know exactly the company name. But
I think they're Oris, but what we're going to do is I'm going to get. Well, I'll amend this video with that information.
Yeah.
I'll put a
description
something
or
right
something
up here.
Yeah.
But
also, really quick, I feel like we should just, for a thumbnail, we should just look at.
Oh yeah.
There we go. We could just cut a still or something from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But thanks
All
again,
right,
man,
awesome.
and I appreciate it.
Yeah, good recording, man.
Absolutely.
Sweet. That was like 30 minutes.